All right, so plant your feet. Welcome to Qi Gong for grounding and vitality. Don't do anything that hurts. Qi means life force. It's the life force that animates us and grows the trees and grows the grass and blows the wind. And Gong, G-O-N-G, that word means work. So it's energy, work, okay? The whole purpose of Qigong is moving, opening the flow of Qi, of life force, through the whole body so that we can have vitality, plenty of energy. And in this case, we're also focusing on the grounding. And that is that we don't have all the energy up in our heads, making us worry and overthink everything. Yeah, nobody needs that right now. So let's start by just planting your feet and feeling your toes. Put your hands on your belly. Open up your armpits. So throughout this practice, keeping your armpits so that you almost like ping pong size ball shape is open in them. That helps with the heart meridians, Qi movement. Release your shoulders to the ground. Lift the back of your neck, the back of your head or skull. And for a moment, shut your eyes or gaze downward and find an intention for the class. Something you hope will happen during the class for you. And just let that come to you. And then I invite you to join me in offering the benefits of this class, not only to all of us, which will absolutely happen, but to everybody in the world, that all beings benefit from our practice today. All right, so we're going to begin with some easy, simple Qi movements that help to open the flow of Qi. And what we're going to do is just simply move the wrists. Okay, so throughout your day, if you notice you've been holding your breath, or if all the energy's going up into your head, fueling too much thinking and worrying, living into the future wreckage that hasn't even happened yet. Just a simple movement like this can be useful. Now, all the major meridians move through the wrists. So a simple movement of the wrists can help the flow of Qi through the whole body. So just play with this kind of graceful movement of the wrists and breathe. And then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to opposite leg, opposite arm, act as if I'm walking. So you can see my heel comes off the floor, my shoulders are still dropped, I'm breathing. So this helps open the flow of Qi down the legs, but it also helps sync up the flow of energy and the brain function on both sides of the body. So opposite leg, opposite arm, my heel's just coming off the floor. Oops. And breathe. So all this practice should always be easeful. Nothing should hurt. There's nothing forceful about it. Forcing shuts down the flow of Qi rather than opens it up. And then finally, we're just gonna, so there's three major energy centers in Qigong or in Chinese medicine. One is the lower dantian, which we really want to nourish today and help bring a lot of Qi to that. That's below the navel. And then the heart, around the heart, and then finally up at the third eye. So it's like the chakras, similar to those energy flows. And each one has a gateway of Qi where Qi can either flow through really easily or it may get stuck there. So we're going to just help open the flow of Qi by doing a little palms facing one another, figure 8, kind of in front of the lower belly. And breathe. Let the rest of your body follow. And with this intention of opening the flow of Qi in an even, healthy way in the lower Danchen, or the lower energy center. Then up here at the heart. So just like in yoga, the intention, what we're thinking, what our purpose is in each of the movements is just as important and very potentiating for the efficacy of the movement. So here, just the intention being opening the flow in your heart, an open heart. And then finally up at the highest Danchen, at the third eye. So a clear mind, not too much thinking, no worrying. Worrying is never useful. Planning can be, but not worrying. Actually, worrying depletes our immune function, so we don't need it. And you can do it slower than I'm doing it. I'm kind of a fast person. Slow is nice. And then let's just make some big figure 8s. Opening all the energy in the body. Find a speed that feels good. And let's go the other way. Breathe. So everything kind of slows down to the speed of life. All right, now inhale and draw the arms up. And exhale, draw some fresh spring morning Qi down through the body. Open the soles of the feet and push out the stagnant Qi. Inhale. And exhale. Draw down some fresh morning Qi. Maybe next week when it's a little warmer, I'll do this practice outside and encourage you to do the same. Practicing in good weather outside is super potentiating for the flow of Qi, and especially even doing your practice barefoot. Now we're going to do another movement where, first of all, we're going to do a little bit of self-massage to help open the flow of Qi. Okay, some of these places that the flow of Qi, which is just like pipelines, often gets obstructed. So the first one I want you to do is behind the skull, at the base of the skull, or the occiput. Take your fingernails and really rub vigorously at the base of the skull. This is a very good movement for releasing worry, for releasing the overabundance of Qi or energy in the head and too much thinking, and helps the energy flow through the whole body, not just get stuck up in the head. It's also good for headaches, insomnia. So good tapping there, or good scratching there. Again, in the upper body, fingers that are V's, okay? And then on either side of where the ear attaches to the head, a really vigorous massage, meaning really rubbing, not like you're hurting yourself, but push in to where the ear meets the head in front and back, and breathe. Very good for releasing anxiety. Now, take your fingers and pinch and massage at the top of your head, ears. There's over 100 acupuncture points in your ears alone. And so pull the ear away from the head gently. Again, nothing should hurt. Pull the ear away from the head as you go down the ear, massaging, and breathe. And down to the earlobes. And breathe. Tap at the cheekbones. Tap, cross the arms, and tap just below the collarbones. In that sort of indent or soft place there. Breathe. Tap along the breastbone or the sternum. This is the heart. And then put your hands on either sides of your arm, palms flat, and find a few where your outer finger is there, the pinky side of the hand, and go in there to the ribs and find if there's some tender places there. This is a very good point for the lung. And any kind of rubbing under the arm moves the lymph and helps the immune system. So you're looking for tender spots. Tender spots indicate stagnancy in the flow of qi or blockage in the flow of qi. And breathe. So even these simple self-massage techniques, super powerful for just feeling better, not feeling so tight or crunchy or creaky in the morning. Now, another place, if you can reach it, is between the shoulder blades. This is a major gateway for qi. And if you can get your knuckles in there and give it a good rub, if you can't, you could find like a corner and rub your spine vigorously between the shoulder blades and breathe. Now, finally down to the sacrum, or just above the tailbone. This is another major gateway for qi, to the lower dantian, and just giving a really good, vigorous fingertip massage there is very useful. So breathe. All right, so just notice, take a moment and notice any shifts or changes. You might notice more pulsing, more vibration, more heat. If anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and speak out. Okay, so let's go on to a little bit more vigorous exercise now. Again, though it shouldn't hurt. So this one is awesome for times in the day when you find, oh, I'm really worrying, or I'm really thinking, or I'm just up in my head about stuff I can't do anything about. So when when anxiety happens, the energy flow in the body goes up, our shoulders come up, we get tense in the head, too much thinking. So what I'm going to invite you to do is inhale. And you can do this either by bending the knees and rolling and dropping forward like that, or if that hurts your back, you can just not do the bending forward part, okay? So we're gonna start by inhaling and exhaling, ha, and you can make the sound. Ha, the sound is useful in releasing. Ha. Now I'm gonna suggest, if it feels comfortable to you, that when we inhale, your heels are coming off the floor, and when we exhale, you're gonna bend your knees, ha, and drop your heels. Always bending the knees. Ha. Ha. Now we're going to do the same thing, but the arms out to the side. Inhale. Ha. 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 And behind the body. If you don't have rotator cuff problems or shoulder problems, we're going to inhale up. And that thing to the floor, and the sound, and the hands coming down, and the breath, all of that is grounding the chi, drawing the chi down, not letting it all be running up into your head. And stop, and feel your feet. We're opening up a place in your foot that's just below the metatarsal area, right in the center of the foot, called kidney 1, or bubbling spring point. Major pathway of chi, of the grounding aspect of chi. So notice, feel, sense, feel your breath, feel the tingling, vibration. Notice if you feel any more connected to the floor than you did before. All right, so let's see how we're doing on time. I might have to extend this class a little bit more than half an hour next time. Okay, so we're going to do some jiggling. So we did this last week, but basically I want you to imagine that your belly and buttocks are a big bowl of Jello cubes. And I want you to invite you to move your legs in such a way that the vibration among these Jello cubes is maximized, okay? Doesn't have to be, it's not hard. It has to be very loose, okay, what you do for the Jello cubes to really all wiggle and jiggle. So it's like you want each Jello cube, and there are hundreds of them in your belly and buttocks, with a big bowl of them. You want them all to meet all the other Jello cubes in like a meet and greet. So a lot of little different pairings of the Jello cubes happening, and groupings of the Jello cubes. If you're just slamming the Jello cubes up and down, that's not going to happen. So feel the Jello cube party starting to come down into your thighs, because the party's growing, because it's a super fun party. And as you do this, you'll notice you want to let everything be loose on the bone. Thighs, loose on the bone. Calves, loose, loose and wiggly. All right, and I'm bringing my heels up and down off the floor, little tapping motions. You can do it however works best for you. It doesn't have to be super vigorous to be very helpful. This is loosening the flow of chi through the whole body, letting stuck places get unstuck just by this. And now we're going to start flipping the wrists, or flopping the wrists. And again, I talked about the wrist at the beginning, and we're still working the legs, and we're still jiggling the belly. But the wrists help pump the chi through the body because of those 5 major meridians. And breathe in your biceps and your triceps full of Jello cubes. Let them be very loose and jiggly, wiggly, and then up over your head. And now I'm going to come up off my heels a little bit and let the whole body be jiggly, wiggly, loose, loose on the bone. Everything's jiggly, wiggly. Breathe. Even your head, imagine your head just so full of Jello cubes. So about 90 seconds of this is very wonderful. I mean, you can do more if you're 4 years old, but 90 seconds of this is great. And now we're going to do the most advanced aspect of jiggling, which is called blathering. And for blathering, you stick your tongue out as far as you can, and you wag it side to side while you make a sound. So if that felt extremely silly, and bringing that inner kid out, I've jiggled and blathered with thousands of active duty service people, mostly young men. So if they can do it, we can do it. And they end up loving it, even though they think it's the weirdest thing on earth. So inhale. And exhale and draw fresh chi into your system. This blue of this sparkling morning sky, the green of the bushes and grass, into the belly. So in Qi Gong, even though there's a flow of chi through the whole system, in all directions, we want to store chi here in the lower danchen, the lower energy center. That's where our battery is. And we never want to use more Qi in any given day than we have stored there. So storing up Qi here for later use and inhale. So it's like literally recharging our energy system's battery in Qi Gong. Very different philosophy than like giving 110%. This would say never give more than 80% because you want to store 20% for when you may most need it. Notice sensations, vibrations, pulsations. All of that is the flow of Qi. So now we're going to do the tapping. The tapping is tapping the meridians, moving the Qi along the pathways that the Qi in the direction that Qi is meant to move. So starting off with I'm going to mute everybody. I'm going to mute you guys, but I'm on mute in a second. This gets the heart meridian. Make sure I'm not muted. Right, now tap, I'll mirror you. So take your right arm to your left lung. And you'll see I use my soft fist or a flat hand, okay? All right, so obviously good for the lung meridian. We want to strengthen our lungs right now. Up until the shoulder and between the shoulder and neck, the shoulder well, and around the shoulder joint with flat hand. Now palm up and down that left arm, flip the palm and come up the arm. Still same hand tapping into the shoulder well. Now the thumb goes up on that left arm and you're going to tap the top of the arm. Keeping the thumb up, you're going to go underneath the arm and into the armpit. Okay, so as you can see, I'm tapping all around in my armpit. This moves the lymph fluid. Okay, and that improves immune function. The other hand is tapping at the C7 vertebra, or the most prominent vertebra there at the base of your neck and at the top of your spine. Tapping here, and now you're going to go up and down your left side of your torso, and this helps with your flow of Qi through your stomach and spleen meridians. All right, stop for a moment. Keep some room in your armpits. Notice what's happening. Tune into that flow, the Qi flow sensation that you're helping to liberate. And let's do the other side. And so you're going to take your left hand to your right lung, or whatever, the opposite side from what you did before. And if you have any congestion, allergy, anything going on in your lungs, you may feel like you need to cough, and that's fine. Release that stagnant Qi through the coughing. That means that the tapping's doing its work. And then up through to the shoulder well. I'm tapping with a soft fist. You can do it with a flat hand. And then I'm going to tap around my shoulder joint with a flat hand. Now I'm going to reach my right arm out with my palm up, pointing upward. Tap down, flip the hand so the palm is down, still tapping with the left hand, going up the right arm. Thumb comes up, you're in the shoulder well, and then down and under. And once again, you're moving the Qi around the lymph, around the armpit of the right side, and you're tapping at the C7 vertebra behind. And breathe. And up and down. The right side of the torso helps move the Qi in the liver meridian. All right, again, that's the upper body. Feel the sensation, notice. So tuning into the flow of Qi is part of the gift of Qi Gong, because when you can feel that something's blocked, you start to be able to unblock it rather than waiting days, weeks, years, and then some condition or disease takes over. Tap again at the breastbone. Take the flat of the hand and tap from the hairline, or where the hairline once was, back to the base of the skull. Lift the hands from the base of the skull, bring them back to the hairline, and tap backwards. So you're only ever going in this direction, from hairline back to the base of the skull, not the other direction. Breathe and tap. Doesn't, don't hurt yourself, but all right. Breathe, sense and feel. All right, our last piece is the grounding lower body meridian tapping. So we're going to start with below the belly. And I mean, not below the belly, below the navel is where I'm talking about when I'm talking about the belly. Okay, this is the lower danchan, the engine of the body. When you stand, make sure you have little micro bends in your knees. Never lock your joints in Qi Gong. Okay, and tapping here helps turn up the digestive fire. Okay, so it helps us burn our fuel more efficiently, and your lower danchan is integrally, your digestion is integrally connected to the energy flow in your body and how you feel overall. So simply tapping in a loving, kind way below your navel can both ground you and help your whole body feel better and improve your metabolism. So around the belt line, if you have any trouble reaching any of the places I'm going to tap, just imagine tapping them, and that's still useful. The kidneys are just above the waist on either side. Give a soft tap there. Then the nice, more robust tap to the lower back and buttocks. Lots of stagnant Qi gets stuck in lower back and buttocks because we do so much sitting. All right, and then down the back of the legs. You're tapping with the knees bent. This is not about stretching your hamstrings. It's about moving Qi down to the heels, the top of the feet, up the front of the legs, and now to the sides of the hips. This is the gallbladder meridian. So down the side of the legs, inner arches, and up the inside of the legs, and to the belly. We're going to do that whole sequence one more time to complete this process. This is a very grounding move, very helpful for getting out of the head, around the belt line, to the kidneys on either side of the spine, above the waist. A nice robust tap in the lower back, buttocks. Down the back of the legs with knees bent. Heels up the front, down and out to the sides. Stay there for a second if you feel some tenderness there. And then down the outside of the legs to the outer arches, inner arches. Bend your knees, up the inner legs, belly. Okay, so we're going to stay here at the belly. Drop your shoulders, open your armpits. Give a loving, kind tapping medicine below the navel. Tap, tap, tap. And now what we're going to do is to all together step forward with one foot. You don't have to step far. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. And on 1, everybody step forward. And there's like a huh sound, a guttural martial art sound. The sound itself is super helpful for the grounding of the Qi. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Huh! And you're pushing the Qi down. I saw you all do it. Okay, good. We're going to do that again. We're going to sync ourselves up. So make that guttural huh sound. And stomp the feet, that one foot down, and push the Qi down with your hands. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Huh! Good. And let's do it one more time together. 3, 2, 1. Feel your feet on the floor, wiggle your toes. Inhale, raise your arms up, and now you're an open channel for fresh spring chi to come through you. We're made of the same stuff as the plants, as the air, as the azaleas that are popping out now. Draw that in, into the belly. Let's do another one of those. Inhale. We made lots of room through the pipelines for this fresh spring chi that's growing everything and moving everything to come right into us. And one last time, inhale and exhale. Through the central channel, you're drawing this chi down like a French press coffee maker. Pulling the chi down to the lower belly. Put your hands on your belly, drop your shoulders, lift the base of your skull, armpits open. Place your feet a little bit further apart, hip width, knees slightly bent. And let's take a moment in standing meditation to close the class. First thing I want to invite you to is noticing sensation. Just tuning into the vibratory throb or pulse of life force that moves you, that is you. Always moving through, just usually we're not tuned into it. And sometimes it can get very stuck. Feel your connection to the ground. You could even rock a little bit forward and a little bit back to help you sense your connection to the ground and the ground pushing back up into your feet. And for just a few moments now, notice any shifts or changes that have occurred during these last 30 minutes. How you gave yourself the gift of chi medicine, of chi healing. And in just 30 minutes, how you can make an enormous difference in your experience of being in your body. And when we feel more grounded in our parasympathetic nervous system, which is happening right now, that's where creativity, innovation, calm despite any circumstance, ability to see problems clearly, recognize what we can and can't do anything about. All that comes from parasympathetic state in our nervous system. That calm groundedness. So thank you for being with me today.